Your blood sugar reading is not a judgment, it's a message, a real-time signal from your body asking for a new strategy. What if you could change that conversation before your feet even hit the floor? Most people miss the last habit, believing breakfast is just about food. It's not. It's about hormonal signaling, and failing to understand this is why blood sugar remains a constant battle. Hydration ritual. In the silent, sacred space that exists between sleep and the full awakening of your conscious day, there lies a remarkable, untapped wellspring of metabolic potential. It's a moment often squandered in the haze of drowsiness or the immediate reach for a glowing screen. Yet, if we harness it, we can perform a profound act of biological alchemy that sets the very course for our health for the next 24 hours. This inaugural act is the mindful, deliberate ritual of morning hydration. We have been conditioned to perceive the act of drinking water as a mundane chore, a simple reaction to the sensation of thirst. But for the body, and most critically for the body navigating the intricate dance of glucose and insulin, that first glass of water consumed upon waking is a strategic command, a foundational piece of information that can preemptively quell the metabolic chaos before it even has a chance to begin. Throughout the night, your body is a silent, tireless factory of regeneration and repair, a process that consumes a significant amount of water. This, combined with respiratory water loss through breathing, means you invariably awaken in a state of relative dehydration. This isn't a pathological state, it is a natural rhythm. However, it means your blood volume is slightly reduced, and as a result, the components within it become more concentrated. Think of a rich sauce left to simmer on the stove. It naturally thickens. Your blood in the morning is this thickened sauce, and everything within it, including glucose, is more densely packed. This physical reality is a frequent yet misunderstood culprit behind an elevated morning blood sugar reading, a phenomenon that leaves so many people feeling confused and defeated before they have even consumed a single calorie. This is where the transformative power of your first morning decision comes into play. By choosing to begin your day with a generous glass of water, ideally room temperature or slightly warm so as not to shock the system, you initiate a cascade of benevolences. The most immediate and mechanical effect is the restoration of optimal blood volume. That simple act of drinking 16 ounces of pure water gently expands and dilutes your entire circulatory system. You are effectively thinning that thickened sauce, which naturally reduces the concentration of glucose in the bloodstream, often leading to a more reassuring and biologically accurate reading on your glucometer. While this dilution effect is itself a powerful tool, the true magic of this habit unfolds on a far more granular, cellular level. Every single one of the trillions of cells that constitute your body, from the hardworking muscle cells in your legs to the complex hepatocytes in your liver, is fundamentally an aquatic entity. These cells require a state of fluid grace to conduct the countless biochemical reactions that sustain your life. When a cell becomes dehydrated, its outer membrane can become less pliable, less responsive to the subtle hormonal cues that orchestrate your metabolism. Let us explore this further with an analogy. Imagine your cell's insulin receptor as a highly sensitive, finely crafted lock. The insulin molecule is the key. In a well-hydrated state, this lock is well-oiled, responsive, and ready to accept the key. When insulin arrives, the lock turns smoothly, the cellular door opens, and glucose is gracefully escorted from the bloodstream into the cell to be converted into life-giving energy. In a state of chronic or even mild morning dehydration, however, that lock begins to metaphorically rust. The cell membrane becomes more rigid, less receptive. The key is present, the insulin is circulating, but it struggles to engage the lock. The cell becomes resistant to the message. This is the very essence of insulin resistance at the cellular level. Therefore, when you mindfully rehydrate as the very first order of your day, you are not just drinking water, you are lubricating every single lock in your body. You are sending a system-wide signal that enhances your innate insulin sensitivity, making every molecule of insulin your body produces work with greater ease and efficiency. This reduces the strain on your pancreas, preventing it from having to overcompensate by pumping out excessive amounts of insulin, a state which itself can drive further weight gain and inflammation. You are, in effect, becoming a partner to your pancreas, creating an internal environment where it can perform its job with poise, not panic. This morning ritual can be elevated from a simple practice to a potent therapeutic intervention with the addition of bioactive intelligence from the plant kingdom. The simple act of squeezing the juice of half a fresh lemon into your water does more than just impart a refreshing taste. It infuses your water with a host of plant polyphenols such as hesperidin and areocitrin, which are powerful antioxidants. These compounds circulate through your system and help to neutralize the oxidative stress that is a common feature of metabolic dysfunction. They act like a microscopic cleanup crew, protecting your cells and blood vessels from damage. Another profoundly intelligent choice is to begin your day with a warm, comforting infusion of herbal tea. Cinnamon tea, made by simply steeping a whole cinnamon stick in hot water, is a particularly remarkable option. Scientific research has illuminated that specific compounds in cinnamon possess an insulin mimetic effect. This means they can gently assist your cells in taking up glucose from the bloodstream, acting as a helpful assistant to your body's own insulin. They don't replace it, but they enhance the overall harmony of the process. This gentle nudge can be incredibly stabilizing. Other teas, such as green tea rich in EGCG or anti-inflammatory ginger tea, offer similar yet distinct benefits, helping to calm the immune system and support gut health, which are both intimately linked to blood sugar control. The essence of this habit is its intentionality. It is a quiet, deliberate moment of connection with your own physiology. It is an acknowledgement that your body, a system comprised of over 60% water, needs its internal ocean replenished before it can set sail for the day. This practice precedes the cacophony of emails, news alerts, and daily stressors. It is a moment of pure self-regulation, a foundational act of kindness. In a world that relentlessly pushes us toward ever more complex solutions, pills, and technologies, the return to the foundational power of water is nothing short of a revolutionary act. It is simple, it is accessible, and it is profoundly effective. It's the first and most crucial step in a chain reaction of positive choices. It cleanses the system, prepares the digestive tract, awakens the cells, and establishes a metabolic rhythm of calm control rather than chaotic stress. It is the gentle, life-giving rain that falls on your internal landscape, allowing everything else you do for your health to grow and flourish. This is not just hydration. This is the architecture of a stable day, built one mindful sip at a time. Mindful movement. Our second essential morning habit invites us to engage with one of the most powerful allies we possess in the quest for metabolic health, our own muscle tissue. We must consciously reframe our concept of morning exercise. This is not about a grueling, punishing session that leaves you breathless and craving a massive refueling. That kind of high-intensity stress can, in some cases, be counterproductive in a fasted state by causing a significant surge in stress hormones like cortisol, which can paradoxically instruct your liver to release more glucose. The strategy we employ here is one of finesse and profound biological wisdom. We are going to use gentle, mindful movement as a tool to awaken your body's largest organ system and methodically transform your muscles into highly active, glucose-hungry sponges. This deliberate habit, performed before your first meal, harnesses the unique hormonal and energetic state of the morning to dramatically improve insulin sensitivity for hours to come, creating a powerful buffer against glycemic variability and bestowing upon you a deep, visceral sense of agency over your own health. When you emerge from your overnight fast, your body is in a metabolic state that is perfectly primed for this intervention. Your stores of readily available glucose in the liver, a substance known as glycogen, are naturally lower than they will be after a meal. This physiological reality means that when you initiate movement, your body, and particularly your muscles, must look for fuel that is already available in the circulation. Herein lies the magic. Your muscles possess an extraordinary ability, a biological superpower of sorts, known as non-insulin-mediated glucose uptake. Think about that term. It means your muscles can absorb glucose directly from your bloodstream without needing a significant amount of insulin to authorize the transaction. The simple mechanical act of contracting your muscles signals a specific type of glucose transporter, a protein called GLUT4, which is normally sitting dormant inside the muscle cell to move to the cell's surface. Once at the surface, these GLUT4 transporters act like open gateways, actively pulling glucose out of the blood and into the muscle to be used as fuel. It is a beautiful and efficient backdoor pathway that is opened by movement itself. By engaging in just 15 to 20 minutes of light to moderate activity, this could be a brisk walk in the morning light, a flowing sequence of yoga or stretching, or a simple circuit of foundational bodyweight exercises like squats, lunges, and push-ups. You are intentionally activating this pathway. You are, in essence, performing a preemptive clearing of glucose from your bloodstream. Imagine your collective muscle mass as a large, empty reservoir. This morning movement begins to fill that reservoir with glucose that is already circulating, effectively lowering your systemic blood sugar before you have even contemplated breakfast. This creates what scientists call a metabolic sink or an energy vacuum within your muscular system. You are proactively creating storage capacity. When you do eventually consume your first meal, the carbohydrates from that meal will have a designated and welcoming destination. Instead of that glucose lingering in the bloodstream, contributing to a high blood sugar reading and demanding a large insulin response, it can be efficiently taken up by your now receptive muscles. This simple pre-meal activity shifts you from a position of passive metabolic defense to one of proactive, intelligent offense. The beautiful thing is that this state of heightened insulin sensitivity is not transient. It doesn't just last for the duration of the movement. This enhanced ability of your muscles to uptake glucose can persist for many hours, creating a stabilizing effect that provides a glycemic foundation for the majority of your day. It's like creating a buffer zone that protects you from the sharp peaks and valleys of blood sugar dysregulation. Moreover, this habit plays a critical role in orchestrating the delicate hormonal symphony of your morning, especially concerning the much misunderstood hormone cortisol. Cortisol, often stigmatized as the stress hormone, is a natural and vital part of our circadian biology. Its levels are designed to peak in the early morning as part of what is called the cortisol awakening response, CAR, a mechanism that helps us to wake up, feel alert, and mobilize energy. However, in individuals facing metabolic challenges, this morning cortisol surge can often be exaggerated or dysregulated. It can send an overly aggressive signal to the liver, prompting it to release a substantial amount of its stored glucose into the circulation. This is the physiological basis of the dawn phenomenon, a common and often maddening cause of high fasting blood sugar. This is where the nature of your movement becomes so important. Gentle, mindful activity, a peaceful walk focusing on the rhythm of your breath, a series of calming stretches has been shown to act as a powerful modulator of the HPA, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which governs your stress response. It can help to buffer and smooth out that sharp cortisol peak, thereby softening the signal to your liver and mitigating its overproduction of glucose. In stark contrast, a very high-intensity workout can be perceived by the body as a significant stressor, potentially exacerbating the cortisol spike and working against your immediate goal. The mindfulness component is the master key that unlocks the full spectrum of benefits. This period of movement should not be a time for mental multitasking. It is a sanctuary. It's a time to disengage from the digital world and engage with the physical one. When you walk, feel the soles of your feet connecting with the earth. When you stretch, notice the subtle release in your fascia. Pay attention to the cool air entering your nostrils and the warm air leaving. This conscious focus on physical sensation is a direct antidote to mental stress. It actively shifts your autonomic nervous system away from the frantic, glucose-raising fight-or-flight sympathetic state and toward the calm, healing, rest and digest parasympathetic state. This shift is not just a feeling, it is a measurable biochemical event. You are using your focused attention as a therapeutic tool to create hormonal harmony. You are doing more than just exercising. You are participating in a moving meditation that calms your mind, soothes your stress response, awakens your muscles, and trains your entire body, from the level of the organ down to the individual cell, to become a more intelligent, resilient, and exquisitely efficient manager of life's essential energy. Protein priority? We now arrive at the third and perhaps the most fundamentally game-changing habit in our morning trifecta. This is the practice that directly intersects with nutrition, but it is about so much more than just the food on your plate. It requires a complete deconstruction and rebuilding of our entire cultural understanding of breakfast. It demands that we cast off the shackles of decades of misguided nutritional advice that has, with the best of intentions, created a metabolic nightmare for millions. The quintessential Western breakfast, a meal centered around a rapid onslaught of processed carbohydrates like sugary cereals, starchy bagels, sweetened yogurt, muffins, toast with jam, and glasses of fruit juice, is the metabolic equivalent of pouring gasoline on a smoldering fire for a person whose body must carefully manage its blood sugar. This carb-centric approach triggers a veritable tsunami of glucose flooding into the bloodstream, which in turn demands a sudden, heroic, and often overwhelming surge of insulin from the pancreas. This violent metabolic event is what initiates the blood sugar roller coaster, the sharp, unnerving spike, inevitably followed by the plummeting, energy-sapping crash a few hours later, which then generates powerful, almost irresistible cravings for more quick-acting carbohydrates. This is the self-perpetuating cycle of glycemic chaos. The habit that shatters this cycle, that brings peace and stability to the system, is the unwavering, non-negotiable principle of establishing protein priority as the anchor of your first meal. When you deliberately construct your morning meal around a foundation of high-quality protein and complement it with an abundance of healthy fats, you are sending a profoundly different set of hormonal signals throughout your body. Protein, as a macronutrient, has a remarkably minimal direct impact on blood glucose levels. Your body digests and metabolizes protein through a slow, deliberate process that provides a steady, sustained release of energy and a deep, lasting sense of satiety that a carbohydrate-dominant meal simply cannot replicate. This slow-burn quality, in and of itself, is a powerful safeguard against the dreaded post-meal blood sugar spike. But the true genius of protein operates at the level of hormonal orchestration. The consumption of dietary protein stimulates the alpha cells within your pancreas to release a hormone called glucagon. Glucagon is the elegant and essential counter-regulatory partner to insulin. While insulin's primary role is to lower blood sugar by helping cells take it in for storage or energy, glucagon's role is to prevent blood sugar from dropping too low by signaling the liver to release its own stored glucose, glycogen, in a very slow, controlled, and measured fashion. By starting your day with a protein-forward meal, you facilitate a beautiful hormonal dance between insulin and glucagon, creating an internal environment of exquisite balance and stability instead of the one-sided, insulin-dominant chaos created by a traditional high-carb breakfast. The wisdom of this approach is magnified exponentially when we strategically incorporate healthy fats into this morning template. Fat is the undisputed macronutrient king of promoting satiety and slowing down the rate of gastric emptying. When your meal contains sources of healthy fat, such as the monounsaturated fats in avocados and olive oil, or the omega-3s in walnuts and chia seeds, it causes the food to remain in your stomach for a significantly longer period. This delayed gastric emptying means that any carbohydrates you happen to consume alongside your protein and fat are broken down and their sugars are released into your bloodstream at a much more leisurely pace. Instead of a sudden vertical surge of glucose that overwhelms your system, you experience a gentle, rolling hill, a gradual and manageable rise that your body can handle with grace and efficiency. Consider the physiological difference between a breakfast of cereal with low-fat milk and a breakfast of 3 eggs scrambled in grass-fed butter with spinach and a side of half an avocado. The former is a recipe for a rapid spike and subsequent crash. The latter is a prescription for hormonal harmony, providing high-quality protein, nutrient-dense healthy fats, essential fiber, and a treasure trove of vitamins and minerals, all while keeping the glycemic response incredibly low and stable. This one fundamental shift from carb first to protein first creates a powerful positive feedback loop that resonates throughout your entire day. When your blood sugar is stable, your energy levels are unwavering. The debilitating mid-morning hangover and brain fog that plague so many are often direct symptoms of the blood sugar crash that follows a conventional breakfast. When you are metabolically stable, those sensations evaporate. Your brain, which demands a consistent supply of energy to function optimally, rewards you with heightened focus, improved memory, and mental clarity. You will discover that your cravings are no longer in control of you. You are in control of your cravings. You are freed from the reactive cycle of needing a sugary or starchy pick-me-up. This positions you to make more mindful and health-promoting food choices for the rest of the day. You have laid a foundation of serenity, not stress. This habit moves you far beyond the simplistic and archaic model of calories in, calories out, and into the sophisticated and profoundly effective universe of hormonal bioregulation through food. It is about understanding that food is not merely fuel, it is information. It is a set of instructions that you send to your body with every bite. By consciously choosing protein and fat as the primary informants for your morning meal, you are communicating a message of stability and sustainability to your metabolism. You are telling your body that it can expect a calm, steady stream of energy, not a chaotic, unpredictable flood. This single deliberate choice has the power to transform the daily experience of managing your health. It replaces the deep-seated anxiety that comes with watching a glucometer with the quiet confidence and peace of mind that comes from knowing you have become the conductor of your own metabolic orchestra. You are no longer a passenger on the blood sugar roller coaster. You are the architect of your own serene, internal landscape. You are giving your body the precise tools it needs to regulate itself, allowing its innate intelligence to heal, to rebalance, and to thrive. These habits are not complex formulas, but simple, powerful acts of self-regulation. They are invitations to partner with your body, to listen to its signals, and to provide it with the fundamental support it needs to find its equilibrium. Your journey with health is not a battle to be won, but a balance to be cultivated. The power to create that balance resides in the quiet, conscious choices you make in the first hour of every single day, creating a foundation of stability that allows your body to heal and function as it was designed to. Which of these 3 habits feels most achievable for you to start tomorrow? Sometimes the smallest shift makes the biggest difference.